one candidate is gaining popularity with the Vietnamese Americans in San Jose. And with elections right around the corner, rallies are encouraging voters to drop off their mail-in ballots.
Learn about how local vendors showcase their work during a pandemic.
You know, it's good to be cautious, but also not to the point where it's driving you crazy.
Adopting to the new norms causes mental stress. Students are sharing their experience about anxiety.
Update News starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Lupe Mictio.
And I'm Fernanda de Velasco. With the election just a few days away, both candidates are holding last-minute rallies. Although a record number of ballots have already been turned in, the vote still hangs in the ballots. Kenya Caballero has attended a rally in San Jose and has more. Kenya?
Fernanda, I saw a community demanding change. They are tired of the way President Trump has handled this pandemic, as well as the immigration laws. They're inviting everyone to vote, as well as persuading them to put effort into learning what each proposition means and how it can affect our community. With only a couple days away from election, the Vietnamese for Biden organization hosted a rally in support of former Vice President Joe Biden, hoping to persuade others to vote.
It's very important that all of us, including Latinx community, Black community, Native American community, as well as Asian community, we go out there and vote.
This rally was held to remind minorities and other voters that each voice represents a singular voice, and that everyone has the ability to help change policies by voting. People gather in San Jose City Hall at the rally to demand for their voices to be heard.
We're voting for a better tomorrow.
Don Nguyen volunteered at the rally. He says that one of the main things that persuaded him to participate is the amount of fake news that has been circulating. He wants to better educate the community.
We're passing out care kits and voter guides.
Don Nguyen also says that the location chosen for this rally had a purpose.
One of the reasons why we chose City Hall is because there's a nearby ballot drop box, along with several official drop box locations, so anyone can just drop off their ballot.
Victoria Nguyen was one of the participants at the rally. This was the first time she assisted a Vietnamese Biden rally.
I felt like it was really important to come out here and show the support.
Victoria Nguyen wanted to remind people that
your vote is your voice.
Try to vote early, vote for what is right and what you believe in.
You heard it. Go out and vote. It does not matter for what party. What matters is that you enforce your right to vote. Even though registration day is over, you can still register in person at a voting site. In San Jose, Kenia Caballero, Update News.
State Attorney General Xavier Becerra is investigating the use of ballot collecting to unauthorized drop boxes. Update News reporter Jasmine King joins us from Fresno County. Jasmine, what's the deal with these unofficial ballot locations?
Guadalupe, in California, it's illegal to collect someone's ballot and turn it in for them. According to the Secretary of State, it's also illegal to have voters turn in ballots to a non-official location. Californians have the choice of voting in person or by mail.
In California, specifically in this election, the governor has issued executive orders so that everyone in the state automatically receives a ballot in the mail.
In Fresno, there are more than 66 official locations where voters can return mail-in ballots if they choose not to mail them. But the Republican Party admits to setting up unauthorized ballot drop boxes that look official.
We have just a robust drop box program. The unauthorized boxes were removed, I believe, on that Monday or Tuesday because the Attorney General issued a cease and desist order on October 12th.
The unauthorized drop boxes were located in places including gun shops, a gas station, and the Fresno Republican headquarters. GOP officials had urged voters to use the boxes to make sure their votes count. Voters we spoke with had varying reactions.
From someone that has their permit to own guns, I think that it is kind of pushing people to be kind of biased, but at the same time, it's your own opinion.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of different opinions on it, you know. There's a lot of stands and different opinions on Trump and the other candidate.
Elections officials say their authorized Dropbox ballots are a safe, effective, and efficient way to get your ballot to the Fresno County Clerk's office. They even have a system to track your ballot. I spoke with a representative at the GOP headquarters in Fresno who declined to be interviewed on camera, but said the unofficial boxes had been removed. The unofficial drop boxes were placed not only in Fresno County, but in Los Angeles and Orange counties, all heavily conservative areas of California. Live in Hanford, Jasmine King, Update News.
COVID-19 is threatening the public physically. Meanwhile, our mental health is under the attack of anxiety. Hoishan Chung is live in Santa Cruz with more. Hoishan?
Fernanda, with all the uncertainty we're going through now, anxiety can be an invisible killer of our mental health.
As COVID-19 cases surge nationwide, people run the risk of anxiety. Mental Health America has released a report revealing that more than 8 in 10 people are experiencing moderate to severe symptoms of anxiety during the pandemic. Some people, like Anna Acosta, are able to process the emotion and reduce the stress level by limiting news consumption.
One thing that I try to keep in mind is it's good to be cautious, but also not to the point where it's driving you crazy.
Others has shown anxiety-related symptoms like mental confusion, overwhelmed, anger, sadness, and loneliness.
So I learned more throughout this pandemic, but at the same time, it's lonely.
Clinical psychologist Andrea Cook teaches at UC Santa Cruz. She says both internal and external factors aggravate people's stress levels.
A lot of conflict around those decisions about what's allowed and what's not allowed. So it's very confusing for people and really increases their stress levels. It also has removed so many of their normal coping mechanisms.
Cook says that to recognize personal anxiety issues takes a while, so practicing self-care becomes essential.
Most importantly, people need to seek professional help when they need it, and remember, they are not alone in this. Live in Santa Cruz, Hoishan Chung, Update News.
The largest number of coronavirus cases in California has been in the Los Angeles area, with more than 7,000 deaths so far. And there is a new uptick in cases. Jocelyn Aguirre is live in Los Angeles with more. Jocelyn?
Guadalupe, here in Los Angeles, there has been an increase this past week in the number of hospitalized COVID patients. The figure is below the peak from the summer's coronavirus surge, but it's the largest daily new case total in the 2 months.
As the county with the largest population in the United States, Los Angeles passed 2 grand milestones this week: 300,000 COVID cases and 7,000 deaths.
We have also seen in some of our areas a little bit of an increase in the percent of the tests that are coming back positive, which sometimes indicates it's an early signal sometimes for an increasing number of cases.
Health officials say a recent spike in cases may have come from Lakers and Dodgers fans relaxing while social distancing, and it may be from test results now flooding in that were delayed due to a technical glitch. The LA County Department of Public Health is contact tracing to identify people who have come in contact with COVID-19 and limit the spread of the virus by putting up testing sites throughout the county.
Yeah, so I was really relieved that testing was so easy and fast in my area. I'm in LA County, so there's so many testing sites that I could make my appointment at, and they're all drive-thrus.
So if you are feeling sick or might have been exposed to the virus anytime recently, right now is a perfect time to get tested at drive-thru sites because they are not operating at full capacity.
There are more than 130 testing facilities across LA County that offer free COVID-19 tests. So all residents have to do is register at a location near them using the interactive map.
Where it was like one of those drive-through ones, and I was able to get my results in about like 24 hours.
The operations center said they are in much better shape than they were in July because they have more testing sites available that aren't operating at full capacity, so people don't have to wait in long lines or be around groups of people at once.
Testing is only a small piece of the bigger puzzle, so don't forget to properly social distance, stay at home if you're feeling sick, wear a face mask, and avoid large gatherings. Live in LA, Jocelyn Gary, Update News.
The owner of Soy Con Love Candles has lit a light for other startup vendors to showcase their work and make some money during the pandemic. Rather than give into the economic effects of the coronavirus, Yanel Murillo is fighting back. The owner of Soy Con Love Candles is showing how ordinary people can be resilient. Organizing an event for small startup local vendors.
Inspired me by giving others opportunity to come out and show what they've done, created, done stuff at home, since they were greatly affected due to the coronavirus.
Murillo invited 10 other vendors in her home Saturday to promote their business.
I was stressed at home with work, so this kind of took my mentality away with what was going on with coronavirus.
Agua Frescas are providing a fountain of opportunity for one vendor who was forced to find an alternative form of income.
Well, as we all know, we've been experiencing a pandemic since March, and I lost my job. I was an office assistant.
She sold out before the event ended.
To come out and support local vendors, even during the pandemic, because it's been really hard financially for a lot of people.
Vendors sold tie-dye shirts, food, cupcakes, and much more.
Being able to come out and support them really helps them out during this difficult time.
Vendors ended the day by packing up and thankful for the opportunity Yanel Murillo created for them.
Come out here because it's kind of a necessity for me right now.
Murillo's hobby of candle making became an alternative form of income that she wanted others to have like herself.
I started small, so now I invited the other small vendors so that I can come out. So it inspired me so that they can grow. I can grow, we can all grow.
Murillo's vendor event was a success, and she's planning on making it bigger in 2021. In Delhi, California, Guadalupe Mictio, Update News.
SJSU officials are reporting a COVID case on campus. An individual who was infected with COVID-19 was in Duncan Hall on Tuesday, October 20th. Reports have been made to the Santa Clara County Health Department as well as SJSU's COVID management team. Individuals who may have been in contact with the infected person are being notified. The building has been cleaned and sanitized with a deeper level of sanitation, especially in high-touch points, such as elevator buttons, bathrooms, door handles, and stairwells. University officials are reminding everyone not to come to campus if they feel ill, and always self-monitor for COVID symptoms.
When we come back, we'll have more education news for you.
Danny White will join us with a look at a unique student.
College graduates around the country face difficulties finding jobs, and the search continues after 6 long months of post-graduation.
It's never too late to pursue your dreams with education. A special senior works on attaining her bachelor's degree.
With some schools remaining online, Stanislaus County school districts are attempting to reopen elementary schools.
According to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, as of September 2020, unemployment levels were at 8%, double what they were in September of last year. Among those without a job are recent college graduates. After long years of studying, graduates accept finding a job in their field soon after graduation, but the class of 2020 is having a different experience.
At the end of spring 2020, over 2 million students obtained their bachelor's degree online. Some graduates pursued another degree, but many try to enter the labor market at a historic time.
Right now, I feel like I'm kind of in a standstill.
Sydney Mae Sabaton is a recent college graduate who majored in chemistry. She joined the workforce for the first time during the COVID-19 global pandemic.
Because I wasn't following or pursuing anything with my degree, most of what I was applying for was strictly based on experience.
She had to switch gears and decided to pursue another degree in nursing.
I feel like if COVID wasn't around, I would definitely be pursuing other things.
I'm still not working right now, 7 months later.
Elian Marin graduated with a bachelor's in business, but he's been out of work for months.
And it's kind of scary, like you don't know what's gonna happen, you know?
Marin is worried about being out of a job where he has responsibilities to take care of, including his own mental health.
I just want to do something that makes me feel good, and like even finding that, it's been a challenge, so.
The unemployment levels of the spring 2020 graduates reached a high of 13% in comparison to their spring 2019 counterparts of only 4%. Deanna Peck is the director of Peer Connections, an SJSU program that employs over 100 students every semester.
Look at this as an opportunity to learn how to adjust and be flexible and go with change.
Peck wants students and graduates looking for a job to be patient and flexible, but also know it is okay to be upset.
Like, you know, it's just frustrating, and I don't know, it's hard not to be upset.
After months, students continue to look for jobs that fit their interests and likes, even in the middle of a pandemic. And now we have Danny White with a look at other issues affecting schools and education.
Danny, it is definitely never too late to go back to school and get your career.
Definitely true. And not all students fit the norm. And here at San Jose State, we have a diverse student body. Avelia Alvarez is a 66-year-old student at San Jose State with big plans for her future. Plans that she's been waiting to follow through with for a long time. While many students at San Jose State are finishing up their senior year at the age of 22, Avelia Alvarez is doing it at 66. This senior says she wanted to follow her dreams of becoming an immigration lawyer so she could help others.
One day I'm going to be immigration lawyer to help people, to teach them how to be responsible for their lives, to know the laws.
But Avelia had to put her life on hold to make sure her family was taken care of.
Yeah, I stayed working so many years, sometimes 3 jobs.
She took care of all my cousins before I was even born. It was like a 15-year gap, so she took care of my whole family.
Avelia was finally able to follow her dreams after putting them aside for so many years.
And said, what I'm going to do with my life? So I told my kids, I'm going to go to school to pursue my dream. I said, what dream? Told them I want to be a lawyer.
I know when she completes, this is going to be like a big milestone in her life.
But she did get some pushback from her family members who questioned her going back to school.
My brother, who is a lawyer, he says, I don't know what you're trying to learn at this age. I said, I like to learn at this age. You don't want to. I think he's like jealous.
The average age of a traditional college student is between 18 and 21. But Avelia doesn't let her age get in the way of new adventures and is unapologetic about being in school.
You're supposed to go back to school. You want to do something, that you follow your dream. Oh, but I'm so old. It doesn't matter. Just go. Try.
She plans to continue her schooling at Santa Clara University of Law after she graduates from San Jose State.
School districts in Stanislaus County are preparing to return to a modified version of in-person learning. Empty school buildings are expected to be filled with students in Stanislaus County. Not all at once, because details are being worked out. School districts are submitting waivers to local health departments, allowing them to reopen schools from K through 6.
What that waiver consists of is just it
kind of explicitly will state kind of the safety procedures that the school will be taking in order to maintain like the safety of everybody.
California Health Department has granted local health officials permission to approve waivers.
Neighboring districts are at that stage where they're proposing, so I'm not too sure if anything's been confirmed.
Some parents fear allowing their children back to school with the pandemic.
I'm afraid that the coronavirus is going to have a spike in the schools once it opens back up.
Carabelle has opted out of online schooling and in-person classes. She's going for a third option.
I decided to switch my children over from dual immersion to homeschooling because I just didn't think it was healthy or effective to have them sitting at a computer.
Districts are prioritizing safety and including parents' perspective in their drafts.
Kids have to pretty much follow everything, so I feel comfortable with the whole process, and I am perfectly fine sitting around.
Staff members are expected to frequently disinfect hard surfaces such as tables, have face covers, and practice social distancing.
For the most part, it's kind of that hybrid model where it's distance learning and in-person learning. But I want to say that
Modesto School District is awaiting the approval from Stanislaus County Health Services and expected to get results in the next couple of weeks. Live from Modesto, Guadalupe Mictio, SJSU Update News.
Fall semester means football, usually, and the Spartans are back in action. San Jose State's football team is celebrating its landslide victory against the Air Force after the first Mountain West game. It was a scoreless first half at the CFCU Stadium on Saturday, but in the third quarter, San Jose had 14 unanswered points. Air Force scored one touchdown in the fourth quarter, but it was too little too late. The Spartans won 17-6. Quarterback Nick Starkle threw 22 for 26 with 2 passing touchdowns. Coach Brent Brennan says with new COVID-19 protocol, the team has overcome a lot of difficulties.
I'm really proud of our team. I think they feel great about that. It obviously requires a ton of discipline for an 18 to 23-year-old young person to make those great choices 100% of the time.
First half with some of the stats.
Like the other 11 teams in the Mountain West, Spartan athletes are COVID tested 3 times a week. The team faces New Mexico this Saturday. Again, no fans are allowed at the CFCU Stadium, but it will be televised on CBS-S. California fall is unpredictable. Let's take a look at the weeks of weather.
When we return, we'll get the forecast from Joshua Gilman. In San Francisco, they've got
San Francisco residents celebrate the life of their friends and family who have died as Dia de los Muertos approaches.
Update News will be right back. In San Francisco, they've got a modern take on the traditional holiday, Dia de los Muertos. Artists put together a walk through to represent their community. Jennifer Hernandez joins us live with the story. Jennifer?
Guadalupe, Dia de los Muertos is a traditional Latino holiday that is celebrated from October 3rd to November 1st. Communities use the time to honor those who have passed. In San Francisco, they're doing just that.
At San Francisco's South of Market Arts Center, known as SoMarts, a COVID-19 friendly walkthrough honored the once living legacies for Dia de los Muertos.
It is an acknowledgement that our ancestors don't leave us and that we're living in their vision.
This exhibition represents more than just family, but community. From the COVID-19 pandemic, housing,
Black Lives Matter, and the chaos of the world today. The exhibition holds a space for collective grief and mourning for communities experiencing hardship together.
My Dia de los Muertos installation this year is dedicated to George Floyd.
Arias created this altar using black paint with the message Black Lives Matter hidden within the art.
We are looking for social justice. We all together, we are the flag of freedom and liberation.
While some people focus on community, others are more traditional or represent family.
But the installation is really a place where you're meant to feel like you're at home and you're in community and you are thinking about the people that you love and care about and miss.
This year, it's been a very, very challenging set of circumstances to bring the show to life, but I am so glad that the resiliency and the creativity of the artists involved, SOMART staff and technical crew have come together to bring this very, very necessary and very urgent show to you.
The walkthrough is free with the option to donate. People who want to enjoy the experience from home can visit somarts.com for the virtual gallery.
Dia de los Muertos Living Legacies exposition will be available until November 6th. Reporting live, Jennifer Hernandez, Update News.
Now we have student meteorologist Joshua Gilman with the 5-day forecast. Joshua?
Across the Bay Area, it will mainly be sunny skies with spring temperatures during the day and autumn temperatures at night. It has been dry and windy across California, which unfortunately started a couple of fires in Southern California, but fortunately no new ones here in Northern California. On the fire map, we see that there are still a few fires going on in Northern California, nearing full containment, and there are still a couple of active hotspots in the Eastern Sierras. Looking at the advisory map, we see that there is not too much going on in the Bay Area, just mainly some air quality alerts to the south in Central California. Now, going into the 5-day forecast, in Santa Cruz, their high temperatures will mostly be in the upper 70s and the low temperatures will be consistent in the low 50s. In San Francisco, they're going to be having nice weather. Their high temperatures are going to be in the mid 70s through next week, and the low temperatures will be in the mid 50s. In Oakland, their high temperatures will be slightly warmer with the range in the mid to upper 70s, and the low temperatures will be in the low 50s. In San Jose, they will be the warmest out of the Bay as usual, but still pretty nice. The high temperatures will mainly be in the low 80s over into next week, and the low temperatures will be in the low 50s and upper 40s. Thanks everyone, and enjoy the full moon on Halloween night.
Joshua, and now for a look at events you can participate in while at home. Later today, Spartans are welcome to join the Lucas College of Business for the Spooky Student Social Mixer. The virtual event welcomes all SJSU students to play games and show off their best Halloween costumes. And for more information on the event, contact the Lucas College of Business. And this Friday, check out Black Cab Jazz with 15-time Grammy-nominated artist Fred Hirsch at the Hammer Theater. Performances will be live-streamed. Get your tickets at the Hammer Theater website. Those are just some of the events you can enjoy from the comfort of your home. And that does it for this week's edition of Update News.
For all of us here, thank you for joining us and see you next week.